friends, it's Kelly, and today I'm going to do a layout inspired by this layout from the very talented Cheryl Ashcraft. My friend Miss Joni Muse from the RTS Facebook group shared this she shared it with a group of us, and she was saying how beautiful it was. And you would never know it, but Cheryl is a digital designer, and whenever I had to look really closely to see, oh, well, maybe it is a digital design. It looks so realistic. It is just beautiful. So I was inspired and thought I want to create something similar to this. So that is what I plan to do. And I'm using this collection, Fall Fever, from Echo Park for my papers and some of my embellishments, not all of them. And I have this photo of my daughter and grandkiddos a few years back. I just recently scrapped another one of the photos from this session, and I have scrapped these before, but these are my favorite autumn photos. So and I have given all of my kiddos their scrapbooks, most of them, just to make room in my craft room. I just ran out of room, so I don't feel like bad about scrapping these again because I love them, and I will just keep them in my own albums. Anyway, so I'm going to do some mixed media because you'll see in Cheryl's, she has some mixed media here behind these two clusters on either side of the rings. And so I plan on trying to do a little mixed media, which I'm a little rusty at, but I'm hoping this new Vicki Boutin foundation paper will help me. So we'll see how that goes. I've done a little bit. I've been feeling more mixed media lately. I go through phases, and right now I'm in a phase where I want to do mixed media. And these are some of the products that I'm going to use. I've been using this a lot because I just recently purchased it, and I love it. It's the Nuvo Mica Mist. I pulled some old stamps that I thought I might get used because I don't use my stamps hardly ever. Also pulled some gelatos. Those are old, very old. I hope they still work. A couple of stamps. And then I just recently got this. It's light and fluffy modeling paste. And thought I would give that a try. We'll see how that works. If I end up doing that, I don't know. Because I haven't even pulled a stencil. I forgot to pull that. So I'm going to go find a stencil to use that modeling paste with. And then I have these that I might use, and some pumpkin elements, which maybe I might use. We'll see. And then just some flowers and embellishments. And I have the sticker sheet and a few of the, I think I've got the tags, and so we'll see. But some elements from this, the feel of this is a little bit different than the feel of this. So I kind of don't know what direction I'm going to go in. I'm just going to play and see what happens. We'll see what gets used. But I just wanted to have this close to hand in case I did want to use it. So with all that being said, I am going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for watching. Okay, so I found a stencil that was actually perfect for this layout. It's it looks like leaves falling, and using the texture paste just to, I wanted to add a little bit of texture on either side because that's where the bulk of my clusters are going to go. Well, ends up I did way too much. And in the end, I will just go ahead and tell you now that most of this gets covered up. It got a little bit out of control here, but you know what? I had so much fun doing it, and it's just a fun process. And I did say that I am a little bit rusty with doing mixed media, but it was just fun to get all this stuff out and play, and it was messy and just had a lot of fun doing it. So I highly recommend it. Even if you cover everything up that you did, it's still there and it was still part of the process and just kind of relaxing and therapeutic for a Saturday morning. So I'm just playing with all the supplies that I got out. I'm using gelato here, which I love the orange color, and it's a little bit gritty over there, but I mean, like I said, most of this gets covered up, and the gold was completely dried up. The gold gelato had to throw that one away. So they do go bad after a while, so just keep that in mind. So then I thought, oh, I want to add some stamping, and I pulled out my Distress Oxide, and that is fossilized amber color. That's also what I brushed over the falling leaves stencil, or the texture paste. And then this is just vintage photo, and I thought I would add a little bit of that because I'm going for fall colors here. And I really did think about just editing this whole part out because in the end it doesn't really show, but I figured if you didn't want to watch this part, you could just fast forward just because this is a process video and I wanted to show my true process. And saying that, I did lose some of my footage, and part of that was because one part was because I didn't turn the camera on and I thought I was filming. So this is the end product, and I'm at this point thinking this is so ugly. I'm throwing this away. I hate it. I don't like it. But I thought, no, I'm going to keep going, and I ended up taking a little break and just walking away from it, which is what I need to do whenever I get to that point where I'm just thinking, this is gross. I hate it. I don't want it. I'm going to throw it away. That's how I was feeling at this point. And then I decided, like I said, I took a break, and that helped. I came back, and I actually end up really loving how it turns out in the end, but it took a while. I guess it has sometimes a layout has to go through an ugly phase before you get to where you're liking it. And I really do end up liking this a lot. And so I didn't like all the mixed media in the middle of the circles. I wish I had left that empty and blank. So what I did was pull out a dolly and just glue it on top of that middle part so you didn't see it as much. And I end up doing a whole lot of layering and things over it so you don't really see it as much. And instead of using like a lot of the elements that were like on the sticker sheet and a few of I decided just to go and die cut some leaves, and I pulled out some um, greenery sprigs that I had purchased at Hobby Lobby, I believe, and just laid those down, and just gonna keep adding on top of that to kind of just create a little bouquet, if you will. I don't really think it's a bouquet, but just like a cluster of elements that is very full and lush and lots of texture. And I just like all the greenery, and it's all representative of fall. So, and I just used to cut all of these out, I used the plain paper pack or the cardstock that comes with this collection. And I'm just playing with some of the pieces to see what I like. here I am still trying to make up my mind. And I really liked that happy fall, the circular element, but ended up not using that at all. And the blessings little tag ends up staying there, and the one that I am inking right now is going to end up at the top left cluster. I've had an upper respiratory infection, and I'm trying real hard not to sound froggy and not to cough. So I have to keep clearing my voice, which this is just the season that this happens. And I work at a school, so I'm around sickness all day, all the time. We've had a lot of people out lately, so a lot of kids out as well. So the autumn leaves and pumpkins please little tag, I ended up popping that up on some foam adhesive, and the blessings tag I adhered directly to the page because I want to give them a little bit of different look because they're kind of right there in a row, and I don't love that they're so close together, but I will use lots of elements and things to give them some separation, which you'll see as this progresses. And I like interspersing these little I don't know what you would call these little greenery sprigs, just because it gives it more dimension and a little more texture instead of just all paper. So I'm pulling out the flowers and I have some corduroy like textured hearts that I got from AliExpress, and I'm going to add those. They're in the perfect fall colors, and I also end up using some flare buttons that I got from Yes Please Papercraft that are also autumn fall themed. And I do end up using those pumpkins. I really didn't think I would because they had that kind of teal greeny color, and but after I laid it down, I thought it looks good. I liked it, so I used it. And I'm really starting to be happier with the way the layout looks at this point. I'm like, okay, this is going in a good direction. And I'm just adding I'm adding those smaller flowers just to fill in some spots, and I want a good balance of texture and color in all the clusters, so I like to use those little tiny flowers to fill in some little empty spots. And I believe all those flowers you see over there on the right hand side, they all came from Hobby Lobby. And I love, love, love those little tiny, I just laid down one of the burgundy ones. I love those. They're like the perfect little filler flower. And then I decided to use this I Love Fall because now I have three three um, three sections of my layout that have words, and it just for some reason I need that. I just feel like it looks way more balanced. And that is about it, I believe. Oh no, I'm not done. I decided, I wanted to use these flare, and I thought, I'm kind of pushing it. That's a lot of a lot of stuff on a layout, but I really ended up liking how it looked. So these are the close-ups, and I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.